To report season. In this video, we'll be looking at the second and third tabs of report season, which are both part of the setup section. The second tab is starter comments, and the third tab is end comments. When you first download this package, it will be blank. It will have no comment fragments, so it'll be up to you to create those, or alternatively and recommended, copy these from your existing word banks. So you can work on this as an individual or as a faculty, and even better. So moving to one that I've set up already. These are for science. So the first thing you'll notice is that you have 20 rows in which to place your comment fragments. Second thing you'll notice is that there are 7 columns in a rainbow sort of color scheme, and that's just to help you to identify them later on, because in the starter and the ender comments, so they will link up with the starter selections, tab 5, and the ender selections in tab 6. And you can see in starter selections for tab 5, they directly correspond with your comments that you've got in here, and in tab 2, and in tab 6, the ender selections, these directly correspond with the comments that you made in tab 3, the ender comments. So the main things to understand about this is that it's designed for Sentral. It could be used for other reporting packages. However, up the top here, these are examples of the variables that Sentral uses to draw names and gender-specific words. So for this one here, under my strong work habits section, I've got curly bracket first underscore name end curly bracket, and that's straight from there. That is the Sentral variable for first name. So I don't need to write any students' names in any of these. Also, if I want to say his or her, I'll do the curly bracket his underscore her end curly bracket variable for that, and you can see the other ones. So you've got he, she, his, her, him, her, himself, herself, and you put those in place of any words that are gender specific. I've bolded certain words for this. This is just for my visual appeal, so I can see the pertinent parts of my comments better. You don't have to do that, and indeed, it's not actually picked up at all on the other tabs. So other things you need to be aware of. So the starter comments, this is going to be at the beginning of your comment. There's 3 comment fragments, remember. There's starters, there's the middle, which we've already talked about in tab 1, and that's generated from directly from the grades, and it's auto-generated, and it talks about their achievement to specific outcomes. So your starter comments sort of you talk about their work ethic, or anything else that you normally would start a comment about a student. In this, I've got strong work habits, sound work habits, poor work habits. This is just the way that I've arranged these, and I've got different headings, and I've set this up for a faculty, so teachers can add their own individual comments there if they wish. However, you might not like those categories. You might have you might want other things. So we'll have this heading here instead of strong work habits, and you can see on 5 it says strong work habits there. If I go to, I've gone on the wrong tab. I'll go to again, wrong tab. Okay. If I go to this cell, I can change that, and I can just say, I don't know, I'll call awesome work habits, just so you can see awesome work habits, and exclamation. Okay, that's updated. I'll go to 5, and if I update the comments, you can see that heading now says awesome work habits. This way you can categorize any of your comment sets and make it meaningful for you, easy to find your comments that you want when you go to selecting your comments. So that's the starter comments. End the comments in tab 3, it's exactly the same process, same everything, except this is to finish your comments off. So improvement comments, wishing well for the future, things like that. And just like the starter comments, there are 7 categories in a rainbow scheme that directly corresponds to the color scheme on tab 6. So it just makes it a little bit easier to find your comments that you're wanting. The whole purpose of this is to make it quick, make it easy. You've got 20 comments in each category and times 7 columns. So that's possibly 140 end comments, up to 140 starter comments, plus auto-generated middle section means you could have an extremely large variety of possible comments for your reports. In reality, you don't tend to see as much variety in student work ethic and student achievement in their grades. So although there is potential for a massive variety, the reality is you probably only have a couple of hundred different types of comments at the end, and that's more than enough variation. And because you've got the variables in place, you'll always have the gender correct and you'll always have their name correct, the one that's in Sentral. So there's no issues about misspelling their names or anything else. So some things that should be considered for both the starter and ender comments is always check the spelling and the grammar before you start. Make sure that it flows well as a starter with what comes from the middle, so in tab 1, and that will flow well into your ender comment in tab 3. So brief wrap up, 2 tabs we're talking about, start comments and the ender comments. These are the beginning and the end of your main comment, and these feed directly into tabs 5 and tab 6. Any changes you make in tab 3 will impact your available comments in tab 5, including the headings, and any changes you make in tab 3 will have an impact in tab 6, your ender selections. So thank you for watching.